Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fun in the Country. Because there's no basement today. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to let Walter kick in with his intro first.
Hey, my cup matches your shirt, man.
Oh, it's an Inside the Mind of Matt cup?
Yes.
Did you get one of these shirts?
I believe so. I think they're over there. Those are the printed ones, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's so nice. It's such a nice
shirt. They're inkjet printed on there. It's like
it's
they go through a printer.
Yeah, direct to garment.
I don't think it's screen printed. I think it's actually inkjet printed on the shirt. Not
there's no hand. There's no hand to it at all. You can't even tell.
Right.
So.
Oh, well, anyway, I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D. That's where you can find me, everywhere at Kuntry 3D. Hopefully this week I will start back up streaming. Don't know. My wife's mad at me because I'm doing it when my kids are coming. They are coming from Arizona, so we'll see about it. If you see it come live, then we go live. Otherwise, we have a guest. Glenn couldn't get us a guest, so we figured we'd bring our own.
Glenn couldn't get us a gift because I procrastinated and then I kind of forgot, and then and here we are. So you get just the two of us, but anyway, I am Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D. Even though my shirt says Inside the Mind of Matt, which is a place that I don't think I would ever actually want to go, but it's all good. So. Yeah, you can find me just about everywhere at Fun King 3D, and we've begun our 3-part segment on building the mini robot kit. So if you guys haven't checked that out, do it, because it was Zach's first time of getting to be front and center, and I will tell you what, that affected shooting MakerBox yesterday. Suddenly, where he was the third wheel again, he was not happy about it. So it is definitely time to graduate him up into doing some more video work. So, but yeah, I had to bring Yoda out only because Walter brought his R2-G2 out. So
that's right. That is correct. Well, I just got this 2 weeks ago, I guess. I didn't go to Disney last weekend. I think we did Fun in the Country Basement last weekend. So.
Right, yeah, so it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I got it, and I was going to bring it last week, and I forgot. So when we said we didn't have a guest today, I was like, oh, yeah. That's why I ran to the house, picked it up, come back. I will say, I'm happy I got it. It's fun to play with. That's what it's for.
Well, mine was a gift from Shulm at Skewed View 3D, and he's interactive. I just can't remember how to use him, but like there were certain hand gestures you do, and he would do stuff and talk to you, and but he's just cool, and he's real heavy.
Yeah. So. Well, this thing it does the front, back, head spin, left, right, and then it'll talk to you.
Well, and part of his head is missing because of the green screen.
No. It's actually clear dome. Clear. It's clear with orange highlights.
Around on the far side, away from you.
Yeah, it's all clear. All of this is clear.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because it's showing your green screen through it.
Yeah, well, you can see through it. That's why it's clear.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, no, it's this part right here, that you're seeing through is clear. It's not.
Sergio said that your volume is a little low. So
that's because is it low to you? Because I've got my mic just stuck up here.
No, I hear you fine, but it may just be a situation where my audio is a lot higher than yours,
and it may be. I can hear you just fine. I will tell you this. I've got some good news. I went to the VA Friday. Was it Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, I went to the VA and got approved for hearing aids.
Excellent.
So I get my hearing aid. I won't have to or Glenn is really loud. Hopefully I will be able to talk to people and not have to be looking at them to understand what they say. I don't know. We'll see.
That means that Fun in the Country Basement will only be a 1-hour show because we don't have to repeat ourselves 12 times.
That may be so. That could be. That could be.
Sean Butler said you cheated because you bought your R2.
No,
But
I
in
built
fairness,
my R2.
there you go. Walter did actually build that R2. I think
went
he
through
was
the
actually
builder-
saying because you didn't print it.
No, that's right. And that's what I was telling you that I think it's Sean that sent me the message. Is that right? I believe it is.
Yeah,
Sean Butler's the one I told you, dude. He is rocking it on his. Can I share it? Can I share
Yeah.
the pictures?
Oh, you're asking him or me?
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah,
I want to.
of course
I
you
want
can.
to. Okay, here. Let me share my screen right there and share. So now you can add that, and we can show off Sean's pictures.
All right, yeah, and to James, my brother from another mother, absolutely, man. I will get you that information right now.
All right, add my share to the screen while you're checking your Twitter.
I'm not even looking at you. Oh,
talking about these. I can talk about these pictures.
there you go.
But yeah, guys, Sean is rocking it on his R2. Y'all check this out. I mean, these are some of the prints that he's sending me in Facebook Messenger. I mean, he is just kicking butt on this thing. It is ridiculous. There's a video. And I got another picture here where he's got it printed. He's also did a Yoda head, but here's a picture. Yeah, there you go. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. I wish I was that dedicated, and I want to be on the Stargate. I really do. But anyway, all right. So I can stop sharing now. There we go. Yeah, it's kicking butt. All right. Wait, 3D print. What? Hey Jimmy, I think he feels better now. Wait, who feels better? Oh, Josh still hung over. Oh, gotcha. I was trying to follow along in chat.
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up myself, but
you're right, Jimmy. That was a 3D, a good-looking R2D2. Sean did a fantastic job. Let me go ahead and knock this out of the way. I got a message from Dan Salvador from Tesla Filament in Israel. They are doing a cosplay party on March the 5th with lots of cool prizes. Should be well over 100 people. I just want to say hello to Tesla Filament in Israel. Happy Purim. And he said Purim is the name of their cosplay holiday, kind of like an American Halloween. So happy, everybody. And yes, Ricky, it is just fun in the country today. No basement, buddy.
Well, we might have a substitute basement.
Yeah, you're right, R2. It is time for coffee.
So if anybody is playing fun in the country basement bingo, FKB Ingo, that was your shameless plug square.
That was a shameless plug. Oh wait, now I've got green screen on my belly.
I'm back to not watching. Oh yeah. Walter is literally disappearing.
Literally. I saw one of my friends the other night, and they looked at me and said, "Where's the rest of you at?" I was like, "I lost it."
I just posted a link for anybody that needs the link to the FKB Ingo playing cards. For those of you who aren't familiar, everybody in the chat looks like they're regulars that are normally here with us. So. What happened when you stopped eating all that meat?
I need to. Oh no, that's this is all meat. This is not eating meat. This is eating meat
and nothing else.
And nothing else. Yeah, Llama. There won't ever be a day until my toes go up that I stop eating meat. Ever. Am I continuing that whole? Am I counting that? No, I'm not counting that. What's up, Mike? There's red lights in the house.
Howdy.
Become the floating head. Wear a green suit and become the floating head. No, I'm good.
That would be fun.
Well, and I thought about not putting up a background today, but you know how much fun people would have if I just stuck a green screen behind me?
Oh yeah, God, we could have so much fun with that.
Yeah, no.
That's all right. Now I got to reach out to Gage because that's a feature that StreamYard needs, and that is that the host can control what other people's green screens are.
Oh God. I tell you, one thing I did want to reach out to them about, I would like to know how many people are watching at any given time as well. It shows you how many people are watching, but it doesn't show your guess.
Yeah. Yeah, which according to that, 61. Oddly enough, my YouTube viewer button on my Stream Deck is not displaying. It usually tells me, but according to StreamYard, we have 61.
Yeah.
3D Jimmy confirmed 61.
If I check my DMs, I have been off of Twitter so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have really been away from social media lately. I have had so much going on. I was telling Walter before the stream started that young Zachary has started spring baseball, which is a very aggressive schedule as it is. And he's also in chorus and does after school STEAM programs on Mondays. And so his schedule has been just crazy nonstop. In fact, tomorrow he's got like a 14 or 15 hour day. And this is at 8 years old, and then Xander has started playing on a flag football team. And so he's got practices and games, and it's just like, and then everything that I do, which that's really why Xander's Thing Thursday has not ramped back up. We started it and it just kind of stalled again, but it's coming. It's coming.
Well, I do see Carl's latest project. I mean, it's an i3 style printer. Carl, why are you doing an i3 style? It's an i3 belt. That's pretty cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a basement.
We have a basement. Wearing a Mario hat to boot.
Hey, paisanos.
That's a Canadian basement.
Have to say to boot. Or is it a boot?
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
Sorry.
Oh wait, here, let's show off Carl's thing because this is pretty cool. Now this is a belt i3. Share. There you go. Look at that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so the premise behind this is what, like it prints something and then it rolls out of the way and prints another one? Because, I mean, the whole concept behind a belt printer is that it prints long, but this would just be continuous? Yes? No?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm going to stop sharing now. But, yeah, it looks like, I mean, and the cool thing is if you had like a knife blade on the back, you could just, when it's done, just roll it off the back.
Well, it would anyway, because as the belt goes down around the roller, the print's not going to roll down the roller. It's going to break off as it goes, and then it'll just dump off the belt.
Well, I was saying just to make sure that it clears that way. But, yeah, I mean, using a belt as the Y, though, I mean, I'm wondering about speed and slippage. Because as you go back and forth, some of them change positions really quickly. Or change, front to rear. So,
Freddie said you can print flex on it.
Well, that's what Freddie says.
But the thing is, I think if it was really thin, Freddie, I think that it would follow it. But if it was a bulky model, I don't think that it would roll enough to go around the. So.
What? Tony Ryan said, "Whoa!" Oh, he's talking about James. I was like, "No, he didn't. Quit lying."
Joke's on you. Chris's ponytail is actually a clip-on.
Yeah, right.
He's actually bald. That's a wig. Oh, I probably wasn't supposed to tell people that.
Probably not.
So James, take a minute and introduce yourself for anybody that doesn't know you, which would be absolutely none of these people, but
I was gonna say everybody here knows me. I'm James. I run a YouTube channel called Print and Play. I design, I guess, mostly 3D printed arcade cabinets at this point. Let's call a spade a spade. And I've known these two guys for like, I don't know, a couple of decades, I guess, at this point. And yeah, I hang out in my basement and I 3D print stuff.
It does feel that long, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's crazy.
I was telling
you figure we've all known each other now for like coming up on 3 years.
Yeah.
Where's the time gone?
Into 3D printing.
Pretty much. I measure my time in spools of filament nowadays.
There you go, right?
I met you 35 rolls ago.
James, are you going to you're going to Murph this year, James?
We're like 95% sure.
What do you mean 95% sure? You better show up or I'll be mad.
Yeah.
That's almost not the word I used.
I dropped back to 45% today, so.
No, you're not even 50-50.
No, I'm not even 50-50 today. I'm 45%. Probably not going to make it this year.
If James doesn't show up, I'm in trouble because I'm sharing a house with him.
Right?
I have to keep checking to make sure stuff isn't in my beard. Every time I turn on, Kay goes, "You got stuff in your beard again."
All right, so for those people that were saying that Walter was quiet, how is the audio now that there's 3 of us?
Yeah, and the thing is, it may be like I said, I'm away from my microphone, so it may be that I'm quieter.
Yeah, well, usually with 3 of us, there's always a point of reference, but I just want to make sure that that we're kind of equal.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and I got to say this too. Happy birthday, Mike. Never let the machine win.
Oh,
Yep.
Happy birthday. We should sing to him. No, let's not.
You don't want to ruin his birthday.
James can play Happy Birthday on his face, though.
Yeah, it's true.
I just turned me up a little bit. Maybe that'll be better.
There, I just lost you some subscribers. People hate that for some reason.
Did they really?
I put out that video for Barnacles, and I lost 12 subscribers in like 3 hours.
Oh, that's because you associated with Barnacles. That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
We should try to get him on here one week.
They said I was a little quieter, so I'll just get a little closer.
Holy cow!
Oh, now we're in ASMR territory.
Right.
I unplug my speakers, man.
Just make sure you listen to the sound of my voice.
Walter's gonna do vape loading ASMR.
No, I haven't vaped in 2 weeks, bud.
Oh, there you go. See, I'm behind the times. I don't know what's going on.
I have not touched my vape. As a matter of fact, it's taken apart, laying on the shelf. So I've not
vaped in infinity.
Yeah,
Infinity
well,
and beyond.
the hardest one was the trip to Orlando, and if I get to go to Murph, that 16-hour drive is going to test the limits of my not vaping. I'm going to tell you.
My webcam's in the absolute worst position for actual live streams because it's here, but my monitors are over here, and my printer is over here. So I have things that I'm trying to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you spend most of your time looking away. Well, that's here, too. I mean, like, the camera is right above this monitor, but this monitor is where you guys are, so I can look at you. But to look at the chat, I have to look over here.
Yeah, I've got the live chat up on the screen on here.
Yeah, I do too, but for some reason I never look at that.
Yeah,
so I did, man. I got them all cut. Look at woo. My gauge is if I get up in the morning and you can tell that I just got up in the morning, then it's time for a haircut.
He gets his haircuts half off though.
I do them myself. I cut it myself, and then I go find my wife, and I go like, "Did I miss anything?"
Kay was laughing at me because I said I didn't like I washed my hair and just let it fall. Like I put a hat on, I didn't style my hair. She made some comments I won't repeat on stream, but I'm apparently high maintenance now. I should go get my wig on the mullet wig.
I'm glad you said that because I got a gift from Uncle Ron when he was here. He was down last week, and This is totally quite appropriate.
There you go.
The king has returned.
There we go.
It looks like we might be losing. Nope, there you come. Okay. Oh,
What?
R2 went to sleep.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to start wearing this always. See, then that will actually ward off the bald jokes because you guys can't tell I'm bald anymore. And then if I could figure out a way to put this over the top of my Rastafarian hat with the dreads, I could be the fun king with dreads.
Yep. I reached up and got a flex plate. I don't want to forget it when I leave, so I set it down. And Carl's like, "Walter's pulling flex plates out of the sky." I guess.
So what have you guys been working on lately?
What haven't
Myself.
I been? Lately, my biggest project has been this fish tank project that I'm working on, which is, absolutely not even 3D printing related, but I bought a 220-gallon aquarium that needed to be resealed, and upon resealing it, I figured out that the upper framing was cracked on it, so I pulled all that off, and now I'm welding together an aluminum frame for the top because I can't get the manufacturer to sell me a new plastic frame. I guess I could have 3D printed one, but
Just don't put resin prints inside the fish tank, otherwise all the fish will die.
I could imagine that happening, yes.
Yeah.
No, as I understand it, really the only material, well, nylon would be okay except for it absorbs water, but ABS. But
Yeah, PLA will break down in moisture, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, not quickly, but definitely eventually. So,
Well, pretty soon I'm going to film a project that I'm working on that's not 3D printing related as well. I am going to do some recessed lighting in my house, and I'm going to film it and post videos on it.
Hey, everything's a chance for content creation.
that's right.
Well,
I just put out my first actual video in like 3 months.
Well, since I'm going to do away with the Country Living channel, all that content's going to be here on the Country 3D channel. So,
Well, here's a little tease for the video that's coming out this Wednesday. That's the robot that Zach and I unboxed, completed.
They contacted me and it went to my junk mail, and I was like, I don't know if I'd get this done in a time that would be acceptable to them, so I'm just gonna.
I'll tell you the story when we aren't public.
When we're not talking in public.
It doesn't really matter, but they actually contacted me and asked me if I would release that video on Black Friday. That's how long it took me to get that video put out.
wow.
Did not happen.
So, yeah, no, I missed Black Friday by a little bit, but they were very understanding.
The
Yeah.
video that comes out this week or next week is going to feature this thing right here.
Oh, that looks like a copyrighted logo, man.
Yeah, it does.
That's why that's not in the version of this cabinet that you can buy. I've been printing parts.
Very cool.
It looks almost like a Super Mario Brothers cabinet because of all the red and blue. If it wasn't for the white, if it wasn't for the patrioticness.
Tony Ryan said, working on not Stargates.
Right, I know. I saw that. I just chose to ignore it.
I forgot I'm the host. I can do cool things like this.
So would you guys say that Walter's Stargate SG none?
That's exactly right. SG none.
Walter's like, oh, I wish never invited James to this.
No, that's fine. Actually, James, we talked about doing a modeling thing.
We did.
There's absolutely something that I'm going to have to model, and I am going to get James on my stream, and we're going to walk through and we're going to model the damn thing.
I'll do my best. So what I'll get you to do is
darn thing, or are you building something that holds back water?
It's something that holds back water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll get you to do is describe it to me beforehand so I can model it so I know exactly what to tell you or walk you through doing.
Well, where's the fun in that?
Okay.
Where's the fun if we don't both bumble through it?
I mean, even with prerequisite knowledge, I'm still going to bumble my way through it. So
right.
Mike says he was considering recording the installation of his Wise lock, but he would have needed lots of bleeping, so he's glad he didn't film it.
I hear you. I actually watched a video on that last night on the Wise lock, and I thought about it. But, you know, it's really funny because we don't lock our doors at night, so it's kind of dumb to spend the money on an electric lock.
But I just wanted to say that if you use Adobe Premiere Pro, I found out that it's actually very easy to put in the bleeping. Of course, I only use it in joking fashion because I never say anything inappropriate in my videos. I save it for all off videos.
Yeah, everything from Glenn off screen is go bleep yourself, which of course is go love yourself.
Well, it's really funny. I I made a video just, you know, for something that I was goofing around with, and I said, you know, hey everybody, I'm Glenn from Fun King 3D, and when I bleeped it, it's like, hey everybody, I'm Beep from Beep.
It's like that video you shot with Xander where you kind of I'm back.
Yeah. I'm back bigger than ever.
Right.
Walter, modeling, please no modeling banana hammocks.
Right.
No, he's gonna be modeling his birthday suit. You got that to look forward to. They call it country living.
Yeah, this week I want to start getting some organizations. Xander and I have to sit down and start organizing out his big project that's coming up. I think we announced it. Did we announce that project? I don't know if he's still up here, but he's building the Caliburn. We did announce that? Okay, so he's building the Caliburn Nerf compatible. You can't actually call it a Nerf gun. Foam dart gun. But and actually was sponsored by 3D Fuel. So
I didn't reach out to sponsors for anything for Murph this year because I didn't want the pressure of actually having to deliver.
Will I say that again?
I didn't reach out to any sponsors this year for Murph because I didn't want the pressure of actually having to deliver this time.
Having to deliver, yeah. Have a good night, Ricky. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks, Ricky.
Take it easy.
Tony, I will not forget, I actually wear this all the time. I don't go to Walmart, but I wear this everywhere I go.
He doesn't go to Walmart.
When I walk into a restaurant and they're like, oh, we don't have a table available, I'm like, do you not know who I am?
Why do you not go to Walmart?
Oh Lord.
Do you not like the people of Walmart?
Why do you ask me stuff like that on an open platform when you know that I'm full transparency? Listen, shootings and stabbings and robberies are what happens at Walmart.
They happen everywhere.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Well, maybe where you live, but not here. Here, it only happens at the Walmarts.
You live in an elderly community. I mean, really?
There's an S on the end of that. Walmart, because we have 4 of them within 6 miles of any direction that you travel from here. And that's true story. 6 miles, I can be at a Walmart in any direction. Robberies, stabbings, shootings. Never at the Target.
But unbeatable low prices, buddy.
The thing is, Target raises their prices so they can pay the news off not to report them.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Do you get a free meal at Burger King? I couldn't tell you the last time I ate at a Burger King. I mean, I can tell you about it, but I couldn't tell you when it was.
You can tell us about the meal or the aftermath?
It would have been the 2 days of food poisoning I had afterwards.
It's funny. I was talking to a friend at work, and she was talking about how her dad ended up with food poisoning from Burger King, and he's like, "No, seriously, like in the hospital, food poisoning." I'm like, "Oh," because I was talking about, the last time I went from here to visit my folks, I stopped at this Burger King, and I won't mention the name of the location or anything like that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's where my dad stopped on the way here to visit me. He got food poisoning." I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess I won't stop there again."
Yeah. We had stopped at one that we didn't typically eat at, and not too far from here, maybe 45 minutes, and the service was horrific. There was no customers in there, and yet it took us like 30 minutes to get our food. And then the food just didn't taste right. There was just all kinds of things going wrong that night. And then Xander and I did actually eat at our local Burger King one more time. And yeah, I'm calling you out, Burger King. We ate at our local one more time after that, and it was just as awful. The order was so screwed up, and we just said, I'm done. I'm done with Burger King.
I got two fast foods for you. One of them Burger King, one of them McDonald's. We went to a Burger King, and we walked in. There was nobody in there. And I mean, nobody. The store was empty. There was nobody in the back, nobody in the front.
Like no employees?
Huh?
No employees.
There were nobody, right? So we stood there for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, just standing there. Nobody. And I mean, nobody. So we walk out. Well, we smell this smell that kind of smells like a skunk.
Oh,
no.
That's whack.
And we see 5 or 6 employees standing back by the dumpster with this cloud of smoke around them. That was where they were all at. They were all on break. Every one of them. Every employee at the Burger King.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I might have told you the story about the Dumas, Arkansas McDonald's. I went in and we ordered cheeseburgers. And I ordered 4 or 6 cheeseburgers. I can't remember. It was me and Regina and the girls. So I ordered cheeseburgers in a bag. Well, we always pull over because Regina doesn't eat things on her burger like pickles or mayonnaise or ketchup or anything. Just plain burgers. Okay. So we always check. Well, these were all wrapped into cheeseburger wrappers and not nary a burger had cheese on it. So I went back inside and I said, ma'am, these were supposed to be cheeseburgers. So she hollered back there, hey, I need blah, blah, cheeseburger. Anyway, I watched the guy do it again. And he made the exact same number of burgers with no cheese on them. And she said, I told her, I said, ma'am, he didn't put cheese on those either. And she turned around and hollered and said, boy, I done told you to stop smoking that. Put some cheese on the hamburgers.
It just occurred to me, maybe the reason it's called Burger King is because they know it's going to put you on the throne.
Could be. Did I ever tell the story about the crystals in the cheese? Crystal burger?
No.
We'd gone in there and I don't know, it was like me and 5 of my friends or whatever, and we'd ordered a bunch of crystals with cheese. And the guy was in the back as he's making them, and he's going, picking up the cheese. And I said, those would be without cheese. That is a true story. Now, that happened a long time ago. But
I can imagine.
Yeah. He was, like he was picking up notepaper.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Oh. That's the special sauce.
Yeah, we need to pay that $15 an hour so we can get good help at Burger King.
Bobby Ron said that is White Castle. White Castle doesn't lick my cheese first.
You have no idea.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't care if they did. You love it so much.
I wouldn't care. I have not heard not another word about the White Castle they're building in Orlando. There was big announcements on it in November and not another word.
The guy that owns the franchise canceled it.
No.
Yeah, he did.
You're full of it.
I looked it up.
Yeah, whatever.
Because I was going to go whenever we went to Orlando.
I know we'll call a live news site.
We're in Orlando more than you are, so I was like, you know what? If they've got a White Castle there, I can eat White Castle when I go to Orlando. News. And they don't have it. It's not going.
Whatever.
No, I have no idea.
Crystals is filing for bankruptcy, and you're mad.
Crystals is I don't care if they file for bankruptcy.
they are actually. But
the thing about it is, I don't know how any of them stay open.
No.
White Castle or Crystals. I really don't.
No, and that's why I said I'm excited that it's coming, but that it's far enough away that I can't eat there all the time, so that I don't get bored of it.
Have you ever ate at that hot dog place in Orlando that serves the 2-foot hot dogs? I think it's by Universal Studios.
I'm gonna have to say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it.
Each hot dog's made with at least 2 pig's feet.
At least 2.
2-foot hot dog.
Yeah, hot dogs are made out of lips. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Not pickle pig's lips.
Yeah,
Regular
there's a pretty well known hot dog place in Orlando on Highway 50, kind of by the fairgrounds, called Hot Dog Heaven. But
That's it. That's the one.
oh yeah, no, that place has been there for a million years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I ate there a long time ago. I didn't know
but
that 2-foot hot dog though.
Yeah, they have the 2-foot hot dogs. Plus, they have the
That
a new
can't be
place.
easy to eat. How do you eat a 2-foot hot dog? I mean,
I don't know,
one bite
man,
at a
but-
time.
one bite at a time. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, the thing is, I guess they opened a new because now they're in what is it, Town Center, whatever they call it at Universal Studios. That
Yeah.
main drag that you can get into without paying to go into parks.
Oh yeah. City Walk.
City Walk, that's it. So they have a place on City Walk too.
Yeah, their original location, which I mean, they may have closed. That area got so crazy traffic wise that it was hard to get around over there anymore. In fact, there was a huge Ford dealership right on that corner that ended up closing up because they just couldn't. They moved like way north, not like out of state, but like up towards Sanford, just because the traffic in and out of there was terrible.
I got a question for you. How concerned are you two? And I'm asking James too because he's in Canada. You're in Florida with me. How concerned are you with the coronavirus?
I'm fairly concerned, but the caveat being, Kay has a condition. I won't get into it because that's her business. But Kay has a condition that means that her immune system is weakened.
Right.
So,
I'm concerned with it as far as not like. Well, I don't go outside anyway, but it's not like I'm changing my lifestyle because of it, but I'm concerned with it coming into this country and affecting people I know. I mean, and in fairness, I know people in China and, I'm fearful that it's going to affect them too, like.
Martin Bass said, God, my computer's confused again. He was looking for a 3D printing YouTube live stream, but it sent me to a burger show.
That's what happens when Chris isn't here. Right. You get off on these
it's not even that. I mean, the coronavirus thing is scaring the heck out of everybody. They asked me yesterday or Thursday, whenever I went to the VA, they're like, have you been out of the country in the last 21 days? And I'm like, well, no, but I went to Disney. Does that count?
Kind of, I mean, yeah.
Disney,
I mean, like it's affecting us tremendously as far as supplies. Products and stuff. And I know, like, I know I seen Dave pop in here and I know that it's affecting Dave with printed solid, as well as, LDO Motors is facing problems. E3D is facing problems. But it's really the personal aspect of it. I don't want to lose any friends. I don't have that many. I can't really afford to lose many.
Well, and Bob S brings up a good thing because everybody's posting the meme of Lysol having the human coronavirus on the label, and it does. It's been there for years. Human coronavirus is not a new virus.
No, this is just a new strain of it.
This is a new strain that Lysol doesn't kill, Bob. It's not that the virus hasn't been around forever. It has. It's just mutated. I'm not concerned at all. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not. I listened to a news report the other day. There's one guy that's been in quarantine for 3 weeks because he's tested positive. He's had absolutely zero symptoms. His wife was quarantined for 40 days with zero symptoms, and she's finally negative, so she's getting out. That's the thing. And old curmudgeon says it correct. The flu has killed more people this year than coronavirus.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on Netflix called Pandemic.
Yeah.
If you want to send your mind out of control, go watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a mini series or whatever, like 8 episodes of just talking about how influenza as a whole, how it spreads and how they're working to stop it and why they can't. And, I watched that and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going outside. Right. But then I got over it. So
But the thing is, though, 3D printing spreads like that, and nobody tries to stop it.
Right. No, and
I mean, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm infected.
oh yeah, well, it's killed my social life, and
Oh,
it's killed my bank account.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what social life did you have? This is the first I've heard of it.
Hey, don't be calling me out on my lies, man.
Uh,
I actually did not have a social life until 3D. We were talking today about Xander and his social circle of friends, and the fact that the majority of his friends don't even live locally, and that he only sees them twice a year. And like we were kind of laughing about it, and I realized that I'm kind of the same.
right?
like father, like son.
It's like, oh, it's almost time to go see my friends, and then another 6 months I get to see them again.
Glenn, you could invite us down like on a Saturday, and we would actually come see you.
I thought there was an open invitation anytime. I'm pretty.
No, but see, the problem is that normally if we're going that far, we're just going to keep right on going to Disney.
Well, that's your hang up, not mine.
I have my better half that takes care of me.
3D Jimmy said, I can kill the coronavirus. I just fart. Nothing lives through that.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
That sounds like Xander, too.
All right. I got to mute. I'll be right back.
Apparently, Walter has to go fart, too.
He had some Burger King earlier, so it's last we'll see him for
I don't wish that upon anybody. Well, I am pleased to announce that the hot end that Shane brought me is working fantastic on my Prusa, which, of course, it does. Why wouldn't it? I mean, he only brings me original equipment of the OEM, but I haven't printed much this week because of time. So
I've barely printed, only played a little. That's not true, actually. I had 2 printers running this morning, printing off parts for this cabinet because I'm trying to get the second cabinet built. I've got to finish the Neo Geo cabinet, and then I've got another project that I've been working on the design stuff for like months that may or may not be done in time for Murph.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to not doing anything at Murph, but just hanging out.
You guys don't have a table or anything this year?
What's that?
You guys don't have a table or anything this year?
No table.
What about Chris? You know if he does?
Full freedom, man. Full freedom.
Chris does have a table.
Chris has got a table, yeah.
Yes.
But
Chris is the superstar here, right?
As Chris's basement. We didn't do a FKB table.
Correct.
I didn't do I mean, we're not even sure if Walter's going to be there. So, I mean, it would just be an FB table. But
the fun basement sounds really inappropriate, actually.
I didn't want to bring anything, like one, because of the time that it takes. It takes such an excessive extra amount of time to get from here to there if I'm displaying.
Yep.
And then, of course, cost is always a factor because I got no money. But no, I've got a couple of people that I want to reach out to and just kind of offer to hang out at their table and schmooze with people, because
I know a Canadian that's going to be there with
more people in. What's that?
I know a Canadian that's going to be there with a table.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, somebody had asked me, they said, well, what are you going to do? Like, if you need somewhere to sit down? And I'm like, I just go behind anybody's table and sit down. I'm the fun thing. I do whatever I want to. I'm like, no, I always have some place to go and sit.
Well, and that, and the thing is, I would love to go. I really would. I just don't know if I can swing it this year. Yeah. I really don't. We go twice a year, and it's my daughter's junior. We just went and bought a prom dress yesterday. And I have to say it's the second most expensive prom dress I have bought any of my 4 daughters ever. Wow. And it's her junior prom. It's our last kid. It's her junior prom. We got one more, It's just this year trips may be on hold. I mean, really and truly this year and the first part of next year. Yeah, I'm saving up for Xander's prom dress too. So are you? Okay. Well, as long as you're not wearing it, I think he'll be fine. I don't know. Let me see if I've got any. I don't even know. I want to show y'all because it actually turned out pretty good. We'll be here, old curmudgeon.
all the way until 6.
Speak for yourself. I'm leaving at 5:59.
Shane said, "Oh my God, what happened to Chris?"
Nothing good. This is your Chris. This is your Chris on drugs.
The difference between an American basement and a Canadian basement.
I'm like the world's most terrible before.
Yeah, it hit me today too that I need to start printing maker coins.
I haven't even designed my new maker coin for this thing. And the thing, I've got a design in mind for it, except for if the second project or the other project I want that I've been designing but doesn't get finished, the coin's gonna make 0 cents.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter with maker coins.
No, people don't care.
Yeah, no. They just love to have bags of tchotchkes sitting around, because there's so many things that you can do with other people's maker coins, like store them in a Ziploc bag.
I never look at them again.
Well, I'm looking at them now.
That's true.
In fact, I have them in a Ziploc bag in a Ziploc bag.
I got a layer and a half left until I have to do my last color switch on this print.
Eggy the Tech wants to know what part of Canada are you in. He's in the part that's above the U.S.
Which is most of it. I'm trying to think if any of it dips. Yeah, I think a little bit of it dips down. Like, I'm in Ontario, near Ottawa.
Jason, well, if Glenn has on a crown for some odd reason, that means I'm safe from bringing spare parts. This was a gift from Uncle Ron.
I don't know if you can see it or not, Glenn, but there's the dress you got.
Oh, I didn't realize you were. Can I share that?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Okay.
It's a
Man.
gorgeous dress.
Yeah, but why is it that stuff like that costs so much?
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand that either. Oh, what happened to James? Oh,
Kick me out.
I went to unshare your screen a half a second after you did.
oh, I got you. But yeah, no, she did that, and we bought some glass slippers to go with it.
The full-size Ready Printer 1 cabinet will not be making any more trips.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Like never ever?
No, it's permanently at home now. I think 30 or 40 hours in the car for something that's completely 3D printed, like that's probably pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I went to load it up, I put all the weight on it and I like lifted it into like this, but like pivoting on the bumper, and I heard creaking of plastic. I was like, oh, that'd be my luck. Okay, now I can bring it home and enjoy it. It just breaks in half going into the car.
Yeah. You just need a 55-gallon drum of Mega Gloop. Once you have your 55-gallon drum, you just glue away.
Well, and then so I was like, well, that's not a big deal. You just reprint the part that broke. But I'm like, it's 3D glooped together. That's reprinting basically the whole frame up until the point where
you just have to put a patch and glue it over the top.
Yeah. Somebody else printed and built one of those, eh?
They did?
Yeah. He
Wow.
was posting pictures on Twitter a couple of months ago. His name's Steven.
That's awesome. That's a huge compliment.
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't move them over. Give me just a second.
James, I wouldn't mind trying to print something like that once I get this Hypercube Evo built that I'm going to be building, because it's a 500 cube printer.
Well, I'm going to be putting the files up we're hosting them on our own website. So the regular STLs I'm going to put up for free because I don't want to have to support them. I didn't design it to be printed and built by anybody other than me. So
Right.
there's all sorts of stuff that as I was trying to put it together, it's like, oh, this needs to be filed. This needs to be sent. I never went back and updated the design because it was going to be a one-off. I think I'm probably going to sell this step file so that people can take that as a kicking off point and modify stuff. They don't have to do all the initial work. So,
Well, I just want that build volume, because I mean, it's just printing stuff small and gluing it together is great, but if you can print it in one shot, it's so much better.
yep. There's a guy I've been helping set up his printer. He bought a what's it called? It's a Max 60, but I can't remember the name of the brand on it, and it's 600 by 600 by 600.
Tristan asked me what's the story with R2D2. It's actually R2G2, by the way, but he's not printed. He is from Disney, actually, and I was going to tell Glenn this earlier, and I never got around to it. We got to talking about something else. You can actually open this up, and in here, you can add a different.
Sorry.
You can add a different personality chip in here, and make him sound different and things of that nature.
You flip the chip and just have bleeps and bleeps. You just start going, hey.
Wish my kid had that.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get us a country chip. He's going to go, hey.
Change yet? You want to?
They have a chip that you put it in, and he just doesn't do anything you tell him to anymore. It's called R2 denied.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, the first thing he's going to say is, you didn't bring your lightsaber with you, did you?
So, I received an email from someone who actually the email had come in some time ago. Like I had a conversation some time ago about it, and then we had radio silence, and he got back in touch with me. He may be in here watching right now. I guess sometimes the schedule doesn't work out, but it's Clive, and he has built my hotbox project, which was a little humbling. But what was really crazy about it was it's only the second one that I know of that exists, and it was weird to see it not in yellow because he did it in black and white, but to see it like in somebody else's possession was a little bit weird, you know, but very humbling that he built it. I mean, right down to he used my board design and everything, which has got my little logo on it and stuff. So that was really cool. That was a huge compliment. And I hope that it works well for him. You know, I've stopped using mine. I went to the Stream Deck, but I use mine now on my other machine just for when I'm doing CAD work for shortcuts. So, but yeah, it's always a huge compliment when somebody builds something of yours. But did you run into that same thing, James? Like at the point that you were looking at pictures that somebody else made, was it kind of like surreal, like weird?
So the thing was for me, I got to go over to Thingiverse for a second. So this is probably going to take an hour and a half for me to get the page.
At least.
Give me 1 second. So the first arcade cabinet I designed was actually called the Print and Play, and I did that. I had that the first year I went to Murph, right?
Right.
And the first time somebody posted to make it that, like it's like you're describing. I'm like, I showed it to Kay, and she's like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not mine though." And she's like, "What do you mean it's not yours?" I'm like, "Somebody else printed it and built it." So now there's 14 makes posted on Thingiverse, and I can't imagine that's actually all the ones that have been done. It's kind of mind-blowing, really.
Yeah, well, and like, okay, so when Xander designed that rocket, and then like we went to Murph, and his rocket had been printed by others, and he was like just crazy about it. Like I was proud of him, but it isn't the same if it isn't yours. So now I understand how he felt about it, seeing it out there. You know, like it's just kind of weird when you design something completely from scratch, and then somebody else somewhere else in the world makes it. I mean, Clive is in Australia, I believe.
It knows no borders. Well, it's Mad Mike just posted pictures of he's 3D printed the full case and everything for the miniature Ready Printer 1. He's waiting for the electronics to come in, and his colors are just enough off from the Ninja Turtle one that I like it looks like it, and it's kind of like Bizarro World. You know what I mean? And like I put it up. I put the website up. It's the first model I'm selling, so I put it up on the website. I didn't expect to see much, and I won't go through the actual numbers, but it was like it's mind-boggling to me. I've almost broken even on the development cost for it. You know, if I pay myself no time, but in terms of the plastic and the electronics and stuff that went into building the first two of them, I've almost broken even.
Nice.
And that's the thing is like I'm not trying to make money off this per se. I just want to take that money and put it back into the channel.
Well, that's it. I mean, you deserve to be compensated for the time that you put into it. You know,
and you know what? To be completely fair, I only had one person contact me and be like, you know, you should be giving back to the community. You should be, you know, like you get paid for YouTube advertisement stuff like that. Which This is like in terms of the actual speed of like my views, this is my second most successful video behind the original Ready Printer 1. I've made like $1.71 off.
Yeah, anybody who says that doesn't actually have a YouTube channel. Like they don't
I make it off,
YouTube doesn't pay anything.
Or
make
they
it
have
off
a very successful YouTube channel.
Yeah, very, very, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking, you have to 200,000 people.
Right. Well, I mean, like,
Joel
Telling makes $8 a week on his YouTube channel. So,
who?
I'm hoping Joel Telling, yeah. I'm hoping to get to that level. I want to make $8 a week.
I make basically enough off my YouTube channel a month in ad revenue to pay for one roll of filament. Except for they only pay it out once you cross the $100 barrier. So every 4 months I get to buy 4 rolls of filament on
I
Google.
was making that kind of bank.
I hear you.
33% of my money comes from one video on my channel.
Yeah. Robert Reynolds wants to know if there is a bill of materials when you purchase the cabinet.
There is. So basically, when you purchase the so I'm selling the zip file for $7 Canadian that has all the STLs, and I'm charging I think $15 for the step file, which gives you like the ability to do custom modifications and stuff to it in your favorite CAD program.
$7 Canadian, so $3.50 US.
So it comes with a text file that has a link to the bill of material. I didn't want to include a hard copy bill of material because I'm trying to keep this stuff updated as stuff sells out, because a lot of the stuff does come from China, and the link's valid for like 5 minutes after you post it. So but yeah, so it comes with the bill of material, and I'm printing a second one because I didn't get enough footage out of building the first one to put together the full build guide. Because I wasn't sure how successful it was going to be. So I thought that I'd release the designs and maybe some pictures and stuff, but there should be a new video up this week or next that walks you through the full assembly process.
Well, you've been busy.
I'm hoping.
It just sounds like I've been busy because I just listed all the stuff that I'm going to do, not what I've actually done.
oh, you haven't actually done it yet. Yeah, I guess
I did the first video. I did the first video where I showed the design process and that type of stuff. I'm trying to do a more polished video. So the last one has like pop-ups explaining terms and better camera angles and additional lighting and no special effects.
I got to get another cup of coffee.
You had to go all the way to Tatooine to get a cup of coffee. Look at that.
It's really special coffee.
I'm just going to toss a link up in chat for the website. Is R2 still over there beeping it? Oh, look. Glenn's got some yellow filament for a change.
Yeah, I'm almost out of yellow filament, though. I wish I could get some more. No, 3D Fuel had sent me a variety of their different. I got the Pro PLA, the Workday PLA, and the Standard PLA. They wanted to know how close they were to Fun King 3D Yellow, because I need a PLA that matches my PETG. Because I print my maker coins in PLA. Because I'm not a baller. If I was a baller, I'd do it in PETG.
You know what? I've printed lots of stuff in PETG. I don't love PETG.
I know you don't, and yet that's like my go-to filament.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as good at this as I think I am.
You're just not as good as me. That's all that matters.
I mean, so my statement's accurate because I assume that I always think that I'm as good or better at everything than you are.
I know you keep saying that. I don't know if anybody just seen that, but this roll of filament almost rolled off the bench, and I caught it at like the last second. It was mid-air.
It's like Yoda using the Force right there.
Totally spider sense there. Whew. That would have made a loud noise when it hit the floor.
So the state of the Captain America or Avengers cabinet right now is I was doing some test fitting and I didn't have the screen printed yet, so it's the Ninja Turtles joined the Avengers. But I finished modeling in. The one thing that was missing before I fixed it out before I started selling is there's now a locking mechanism, so the wheels actually pop into a groove in the bottom to stop it from rolling back and forth.
Oh, nice.
So, I'm pretty proud of it.
Red and blue, because it looks orange and blue.
Yeah, it's just the color balance. My hat kind of looks orange now too.
I was gonna say because your hat looks a little bit orange too.
If I take my hat out of the equation, does it?
No, it's still orange. I mean, the thing is Walter and I are both Gator fans, so like orange and blue would have been really exciting.
Yeah. now that looks red.
That looks red, yeah.
It's color balancing for the blue and stuff in it, but yeah.
Yeah, see, that could have been a gator head on the front and been orange and blue, and that'd been awesome.
That'd be a great cabinet.
You know what? If you want to print one, Walter, I will customize it. I will design gator logos for it, and you can print it in orange and blue with the gator.
The only way that's acceptable is if you pay the licensing, because we need to support the Gators, man.
I did support them. Did you?
I will do it for free
on Day of Giving, not last week.
What's that?
Did you support them on Day of Giving last week?
Yeah, sure, I did.
I'm still waiting on my Mr. 2-Bits whistle.
Wearing 2 pairs of glasses. Anybody playing bingo?
Way to go, Six Eyes. I'm
wearing 2 pair too. You just can't see them.
Man, that standard PLA is so close in color.
You know what, James? If you did that, I'd have to order some orange because I don't have any. I don't have much.
So printing the cabinet takes about I think it's a little over a kilo, but since it's split between 2 colors, you need 2 kilos and you have leftovers of each.
Well, see, what I would do is get the shiny filament, the shiny orange and the shiny blue.
Yep.
And the shiny green, so I could make the logo and all.
Like the silk stuff.
Yeah, the silky stuff. Yeah.
I gotta say, like I love the look of silk, but I hate the like I don't know if it's just me, although I do know it's not just me because I see people posting stuff all the time. Every brand of silk filament that I've had has had terrible layer adhesion. The prints look really nice, but the layers like just about peel apart.
I've had 0 problems with that.
Yeah, you got to bring your heat up and turn your speed down.
I mean, I was running the I won't mention any brands because I'm not in-depth testing enough to throw anybody under the bus, but I was running one of them up to 230 degrees to try and get the layers drawn at 45 millimeters, and I was done, and I could just like not easily peel, but like enough that like you could tell the difference.
Huh. Yeah, see, I do all kinds of stuff in shiny, and I have 0 problems with layer adhesion.
Well, so they printed well enough that they held together for displays and stuff like that. But it was when I started to try because like I printed cabinets out of it, 2 of the mini ones, and when I started putting screws in it, the pressure from the screws was actually enough to get the layers to start to push apart.
Ah, well, I'd have to try it because I don't know. I ain't never screwed anything together with it.
Yeah, I think their Workday PLA is like the standard PLA is really close until I put it up to the Workday PLA. I think the Workday PLA is almost dead on.
Red Light asked, "Is that just for the STL file?" So you can pick up either the STL files there for the mini cabinet, or the step file, which will allow you to import it easily into your favorite program. And both of them come with copies of bill of material. Since I'm trying to go back in my head to figure out what we were talking about when that message might have been out. I finally bought a more proper soldering iron because I was using this guy.
A screwdriver that you just kept like holding a lighter underneath until it was hot enough.
Pretty much. Yeah, so this is like a 30-watt iron. It was fine for soldering wires and stuff together and buttons and stuff. And then I had to change the wire on the heat bed for one of my CR10s. So I let it heat up like to the point where it's smoking hot. I put put solder onto the tip, so it's got liquid solder, and I let it like make sure it's like this on, and I touch it to the actual contact point on the bed, and the solder that's on immediately solidifies, and I can't pull the iron back off at that point because it didn't throw enough heat. A heated bed is basically a giant heat sink, right? Like it's designed to dissipate heat over a wide space.
Absolutely.
So I ended up like I ordered one that was $35, I think, on Amazon Canada, and I was gonna buy a more expensive one, but it was really well reviewed, and I figured, well, if it's garbage, then I'll return it. And it's actually been fine, other than it's burnt down 3 houses, you know. But yeah. So it's actually got the adjustable heat. This one I think is 58 watts or something like that.
What brand is that?
I don't know. It's some no-name one.
It looks just like my Weller.
It is definitely not a Weller. It doesn't even have the brand name listed on it, but it's obviously a knockoff of that. It is a 58 watt soldering iron. I can go on Amazon right now and look up the name for it. So I've done one repair with it and it worked fine. Let's see. Amazon.ca.
I really, really got to get some organization to my filaments. It is out of control.
I hear you.
In fact, I don't even know where any of my empty spools are at this point.
It's a Stanz, Stanz, and it was $35.99 with free shipping from Amazon.ca, and it came with 4 tips. And they're ceramic tips, I guess. I don't know. Ceramic with a metal tip. There's the link for anybody who cares. It is not an affiliate link.
Oh, shame on you.
I mean, I know I could really use that 38 cents, but...
And before anybody asks, yes, I just wasted the end of that roll because that filament has been sitting out for about a year. So, and in Florida, that doesn't work.
Well, I think we're just about ready. I think we're on the last layer before filament swap. I think it's just finishing off the stars, or the star.
Woohoo! Yeah, this when I built this Hypercube Evo, the 500 cube, I'm gonna make sure it's got a filament sensor on it. I built one for the small Hypercube, but the PLA didn't hold very good and it broke, so I still have it. And it's not very hard to add to the I've got the line of code actually just swapped out or commented out.
So just remove your comment and you're set to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it basically, once it turns that off, it just stops running. So
I'm the absolute worst when I'm writing code for just commenting stuff out and going like, I'll clean this up later. And then 3 years later, I start going through and it's more comments than it is actual code. Like you never know when you're going to have to go back to this. You know?
I never do that.
Put in this code to deal with the year 2000.
I make sure when I'm writing code, I put my initials in wherever I want to remove something. So before I push it, I search for my initials and then make sure that everything's removed that's supposed to be removed.
I worked on somebody's code who used to do everywhere, but for stuff that they wanted to remove. So to do remove, and I was like, I would have come up with something else. To do is usually for like, I need to implement this feature, not I need to remember to come back and delete this.
Right.
But whatever. The number of to-dos I found in there indicated that it didn't matter anyways. None of it got to done.
I hear you. Yeah, I've been writing an Android application for the past couple of weeks. It's working pretty good right now. So
I've never done any mobile development. It's one of those things that I always intend to like get started on, but I don't have any free time.
This is not for mobile development. This is for Fire TV.
Oh, okay.
So
my cat is quite intrigued with my rolling of my filament.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, I went all blurry. Come on, camera, catch up.
All blurry in Albuquerque. I got a bottle of 99% alcohol sitting directly next to my printer. It's probably safe.
That'll be fine.
let's face it, if it gets to the point where it's going to ignite there, we're probably already screwed in terms of what's going to happen to the house anyways.
Well, and if it happens on live stream, my ratings will go through the roof.
Anything for you, Glenn.
Much like the flames will.
Right.
Listen, boy, you can't walk in halfway through a conversation and expect me to explain everything to you.
Is Xander streaming Minecraft tonight?
Is Xander streaming tonight?
Yeah. Doesn't he stream Sunday nights after this?
He normally does, but once in a while he takes the night off.
Huh. Oh, I saw Xander's arm there for a split second.
That does count as a Xander sighting.
I remember when Fun King used to be a joint adventure between Glenn and Xander.
Yeah, now it's a joint adventure between Glenn and Zachary.
Or Glenn in his current role of filament.
Yeah, this is man, I hate samples.
I have a drawer full of samples that anybody can have if they want them. They gotta pay to get them to them though. I don't want any drive-bys here picking up stuff.
Arduino Pro looks a little spendy, Tony Ryan says. Is anybody excited about the features it will bring?
What? Arduino Pro? I never even heard of it.
Me either.
How did
You
I
guys
miss
are both amateurs. It's for pros, clearly, based
Oh,
on the
gotcha.
name.
What's considered a little spendy, Tony?
Well, the thing is, too, it can't be for experts either because I'm an old drip, but I didn't heard nothing about it.
Well, I mean, like, I try to keep up with what's going on with Raspberry Pi and some of the other ones, but
Yeah, Chris does look different today, Bryce. You're right.
this spool looks like it pops apart, but oh yeah, there we go. Just got
So the printer that's running in the background right now is running A4988. I'm split probably between those and the printers that I've done more work on are running the TMC 2208s. So much quieter.
See, now he sounds like the basement dweller.
Tony says it's $99 for the base board. It has dual processors.
It's $99 for the baseboard and what?
Has
And
dual
it's
processors.
Yeah, that does seem spendy for an Arduino.
I just bought an ITX motherboard that's got dual core AMD processor integrated in it. It was $20 plus $15 shipping.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be fair, it's old stock from 2013, but it's going into a project, so.
I got a new Fire TV Cube the other day. They put them on sale because they're going to be building a new one. Amazon is. And they when they do that, they put them on sale at Best Buy as well. And I had $20 worth of Best Buy cash. So I actually got it $20 cheaper, than that. So it worked out really good for me. It's a hexa-core processor Android box. And it's really nice box, I must say.
So for my project for Murph, I was going to run a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, I'm not going to keep it a secret. I've been posting some pictures and stuff anyways. My goal was to move outside designing an arcade. And what I wanted to build instead was a miniaturized version of the IBM PS2 Model 30. And it was going to be like a retro PC. So it'd be able to run old software. Like,
floppy drive and stuff.
what was that?
I seen the pictures of their floppy drive and stuff.
Yeah, so that print was the test. I've been cutting the case that I designed into pieces and printing the ones that are like, taking components to make sure things fit without having to print the whole case.
Right.
So the original thing was it was still going to be Raspberry Pi powered, running ARMBN, and then get DOSBox up and running on it. But DOSBox running on the Pi 3 and even the Pi 4, from what I've read, because I don't have one yet, it tapers off like 486, like maybe DX66 level, but mostly lower. So I was able to get like Wolfenstein running smooth, fine. Doom I eventually got playable by overclocking the Pi, but you still have a translation layer going from ARM to x86, right? So it's just not perfect. So I made the decision to go and track down a nice and small all-in-one board solution, and this guy was on Amazon or on eBay for $20. So
Wow.
I'm building the case. I've designed the case so that you can put any ITX board into it, more or less. Like if it's got a heat sink on it that's like this tall, that's going to be an issue. But this one here was neat because it's 7 years old, and it has some stuff in it that like they're just doing now. So like there's the new M2 drives, but this had MSATA on the board, so you can actually have storage here, a Wi-Fi card added here. It's got USB headers on the inside, so I can do some internal wiring of some components without having to like splice anything together. And the other neat thing is it's got a 12-volt jack on the back of it, so you don't have to connect actual ATX power to it. You can just connect 12 volts, and it's got 12-volt to 5-volt regulators to handle the components.
Nice.
So as it stands right now, I can plug this into a 12-volt power supply with a keyboard and a monitor, and it's a fully functional computer ready to go. I've already got the OS installed on it. So I'm pretty hopeful that'll do better than the Raspberry Pi did.
And for general knowledge, the Raspberry Pi is now cheaper than it was. They lowered the price on it, and it's got twice as much memory as it did.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The 1 gig and 2 gig version are now the same price.
Yep. Depending on where you buy it.
Mike Red Light said he's got more of those if you'd like a few extra.
You got more of the Pi, or you got more of this board?
I'm pretty sure to be that board because he strips down computers as a side hustle.
I wouldn't mind getting a couple more. I was gonna the guy had 3 of them, and I was gonna order them, but they aren't a common component. So like me ordering the extra 2, I can build a couple more of them for people. But when it came down to designing the case, I've had to make it so you can put anything in it so that people can sort of reproduce what I did. So,
Bernie, what do you mean none of us are looking at chat? I'm steady reading chat.
I'm not. I'm busy.
Mike said he'll bring them with him to Murph. James.
Oh, sweet. So I did try RetroPie. Well, so here's the thing. RetroPie, if you want to run, like there's versions of Doom and stuff like that have been converted to run on ARM. So, like there's basically an engine that's been built for ARM, and then you import the resources from the actual games. But in terms of running the actual software, the going from x86 to ARM is just not that efficient. The translation layer isn't that great, so the performance is cut off compared to running on something that can handle x86 natively.
Yes. Oh, curmudgeon, we're still here.
You made it back, man.
You made it back. I brought R2-G2 to the Stargate room.
I'm hoping we get to the color switch before the end of the stream and I can show off what's printing, because I think all my American buddies will get a kick out of it.
You have American buddies?
Oh, we're not friends?
We're family.
Oh, well, so I can still call family buddies.
All right.
You're welcome, Mike. Oh, Bernie, no problem, man. But we do read chat. We don't acknowledge every.
No, and there's times when we don't read chat. I mean, just depending on what.
Wait, there's chat?
There's times when we ignore folks.
Hey, look! Walter finished the Stargate. It looks fantastic.
I know, right?
It looks so realistic.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Bernie. You don't have to apologize, buddy. I don't.
Oh God, no, not around here. The only person that says sorry around here is James because he's Canadian.
He's Canadian. He's required.
Okay, so I better be careful because I made some comment that one time you were on about the maple leaf, and let me tell you the heat that I took for that.
What'd you say about it?
Because it was something that you it was your T-shirt design that the
one that Sean did that has the leaf in the screen.
Right, and I had said to you were wearing it that time you were on stream with us, and I'm like, yeah, you Canadians and your stupid maple leaf. Because I always pick on you for being Canadian. It's what I do, Yep. Well, the audience didn't necessarily understand that, and I got heat on people like leaving comments on the video afterward. Oh, picking on the maple leaf. Maybe I should say something bad about your stupid stars and stripes. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, dude, I hope that your comment's tongue in cheek because that's my comment was tongue in cheek, I don't personally have an issue with the maple leaf.
No, just an issue with me.
Right. Yeah, it's not all Canadians. It's just James.
Yeah, Tony Ryan says that you get heat for picking on James in general. It's because I'm like the little defenseless Canadian guy. I'll leave James alone.
Don't pick on James.
I favored a comment on my last video. Somebody commented on my video, "This lady's beard is on point." I'm gonna heart that. Don't bother me at all.
Oh, no, I only pick on those who can take it. And those who I don't really like. So if you can't take it, I probably don't like you.
If you've never been picked on by Glenn, it's because he thinks that you're weak.
Oh.
R2 agrees. He's R2D blue.
190 to 230.
I will never slap the bag again. I retired a champion.
I hear you, brother.
I slapped the bag the next morning. The bag slapped me when I woke up.
Yep. Hey, there's Chris. I didn't know. Oh, he just got here. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Should I switch to my print and play hat? It's behind my monitor and covered in dirt. I had some companies send me some samples for merchandise stuff, and I got the hat, and I'm like, I very rarely wear hats, so.
Yeah, I don't hardly ever wear a hat either.
I don't think I've ever seen you with one on.
I'm very seldom do I put a hat.
You're very good at styling your hair to look like a hat, though. That's the impressive part.
Yeah, well, until you have a crown, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, we'll never take your crown.
Not this one. It was a gift.
It's glued to your head. Oh, I'm back in a second.
Thanks for the warning.
You can see the mess behind my desk now. Matches the mess in front of the desk.
Pick on Glenn's squealing mic. Yeah, you can pick on it.
My mic's squealing?
I don't know. I haven't heard it squeal, but I'm deaf, so that doesn't help.
I've been looking at my own enterprise, and this is a birthday gift I got a couple years ago.
Is that the drone one?
This is not the drone one, no.
Oh.
This is significantly too heavy, but check this out.
Oh, it separates, dude. That's awesome.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, on the second part of the Farpoint episode, when that separated, dude, that was so cool.
Rewatching it now, though, you're like, oh, they just wanted to show off the technology that they had going forward. Like, there's no real good reason for it to happen.
There was not. I mean, it really wasn't, but it was so cool to see.
If you go back and watch all the old Star Trek movies, like the cinematic scenes where they're flying around the outside of the ship, like in the beginning and stuff, it's like 35 minutes of them flying around the ship, and it's just to show that they could do the technology as far as the cinema goes.
Right.
Yep. And it was beautiful. It was very well done. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's like, just get to the movie already.
We watched Ip Man 4 today. I don't know if you've ever watched any of the Ip Man movies.
I think I watched the first one.
Well, I watched Ip Man 4. It's the finale. He passes away, and it is what it is.
Thanks for giving it away.
Yeah, I was telling Regina, it would be cool to see kung fu masters in their 60s go to town like some of those do without the cinematic stuff. I would like to see a couple of kung fu masters just go at it.
Just fight it out?
Yeah. Yeah, not in a cinematic fashion. I want to see them actually use kung fu in an actual battle between two of them like that. Not at a tournament. I'm talking about in the street, just
at
best on best.
At 60 years old?
Oh, it doesn't matter. 40, 50, it doesn't matter to me.
He just wants to see people get beaten up.
He just wants to see old people fighting in the street.
Right. Yeah.
Walter, have you been watching Picard?
I watched the first episode. I have not went back because I want to binge watch a few of them.
That's
I'm
fair.
letting them build up. I'm letting them build up before I watch them.
It is a slow build show. The first, it's not until, and this isn't giving anything storyline away. You don't see outer space until like the end of the third episode.
Yeah,
It's all character development and showing what's been going on. Somebody was talking to me the other day, and they're like, "This isn't real Star Trek," and I'm like, "You may not like it. That's fine. You don't have to like every iteration of Star Trek." They're like, "No, Star Trek was never meant to be gritty and violent and stuff." And I just sent them the clip from the Next Generation episode where the little parasite things have taken over the Federation the first season, and they blow up that guy's head.
Yeah.
Because first season, there's an episode, there's a guy, and he's been infected with these parasites, and they shoot him in the head with his phaser, and his like skin melts off, and then his skull explodes. And I'm like, yeah, there's never been anything graphically violent in Star Trek.
Right.
And the response was, that was different. That didn't look realistic. I'm like, it doesn't look realistic now. It looked realistic back then. That's as good as they could get.
Oh, Bernie said, "Thanks, Walter. What happens at the end of The Sixth Sense? The butler did it, Bernie. Butler did it. That's what happens at the end of The Sixth Sense." But he also said spoilers. So, because I guess we're spoiling stuff. Are we spoiling anything?
Like, maybe I just spoiled Star Trek: The Next Generation, which was like, that episode aired in '87. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, here's a reenactment of what happened in Encounter at Firepoint. Oh no, it's the Q. Okay, we're just gonna do this. See you later.
Spoiler alert, everybody. That was a spoiler.
My favorite part of that whole situation is that after that whole situation resolves, they go to Firepoint. They don't bother to go pick up the saucer section. Then like a day later, like, oh, saucer section reports it's arriving now. It's like, you couldn't go pick them up.
Oh, Tony Ryan, you're right. The opening scene from Scanners was epic. But I will tell you, I'm still one of the movie Cube. That opening scene for the movie Cube is probably one of my favorites of all times. And if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. Our friend David Hewlett's in it. He's actually the first face you see after the opening scene. And it's just, that opening scene is just, I loved it. Hunter's on Prime. I actually do want to watch that. I saw it the other day. There's so many shows I want to watch. I started watching Altered Carbon the other day. And dude, that's like a what do you call it? Blade Runner style show.
Yeah. I haven't watched the second season of that yet.
I haven't watched
the first 3 episodes.
Watched the first episode.
I watched the first 3 episodes. Kay wasn't into it, so it's hard for like we mostly only watch shows that we both enjoy watching because we don't want to spend time in separate rooms watching separate shows. So,
what's up there, Dan Borio? Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. Yep. James is in the house. So.
I am here. Robert Reynolds says he just purchased the arcade cabinet files. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
All the money from the sales for that goes directly to me.
100% of the proceeds are donated to my pocket.
Nah, all the money, like we've gotten serious about it. All the money that comes in now, we're putting into paying bills for the channel and stuff. I'm not, taking it as a payday or whatever. The next year or two is definitely going to be focused on sort of building it and seeing what it becomes. I don't think I'll ever get big enough that 3D printing can be my living, or like 3D printing and design and that type of stuff can be my living. But I'd like to take a stab at it. So my wife's been the webmaster, actually. She designed the website.
Yeah. It's funny because doing that for a living, I can't stand it. I can't stand upkeeping my own website.
No. Yeah, you're right. Well, and it's always the mechanic that drives the junkiest car and the plumber who has problems with his toilet, and you don't want to do it all day long as a living and then come home and do it at home.
Right. No, I really don't. I visited my brother and my cousin. They build houses for a living. They dry in houses anyway, and they were drying in a house, dude. And I went over and visited them last week while they were working, and I was like, you know what? I would love to do this again, but then when I go to building houses, I don't like it anymore. I actually love building houses when I built houses. And I like writing software. I just don't like doing it for myself.
Tom Lama said, yeah, they're still trimming my house missing. Ditto.
Yeah, you're right.
I have all the nice oak wood stair treads. They're in the closet downstairs, and I still have the rough 2x12 steps.
Yep.
But as much crap as I drag up and down them stairs, it's probably better that way. Oh, somebody's ringing my doorbell.
Look on your phone.
I am. It's probably the Amazon guy. He comes 3 times a day. That's not a joke.
It
is. It's Amazon.
I made the mistake of signing my wife in on Amazon, so now every time I buy something, she gets a notification. I
made the mistake of putting my wife on there, and now she puts stuff in the cart.
Yeah. And you go check out without looking?
Yep. And all of a sudden, you got a bunch of extra stuff coming.
I went to go in my cart the other day, or went to purchase something, and it was like $5 and something. Went to check out, and it was like $350. I'm like, no. What is that? My daughter put stuff in lists so that, like, if she needs something, she can say it's in my list, whatever. And she had put stuff in the cart and hadn't emptied it. So.
Paul Cumber wants to know if we know where we can find a heat bed for a monoprice. I can't remember what size that bed is, but I'm sure.
Mini or just the monoprice, the i3 style?
I think it's the monoprice mini.
I sent a DM to both Robert Reynolds and Red Light on Twitter, just as a heads up. John,
you do it is here. Hi, John. I haven't talked to you in a long time, man. In fact, I think I haven't really talked to you since. God, when has it been? It's been a long time.
As for somebody asked about ROMs, I generally don't give out any information about finding ROMs. I don't need Nintendo knocking at my door. There's plenty of sites out there that offer information.
Oh yeah, they're really easy to find.
Yeah, like there's a company in Quebec that goes by the name Emulga, EMULGA or whatever, and I think they like have been shut down a couple times because they put up full blown RetroPie images. Like you download the image, write it to the thing, and it's got 10,000 games in it right out of the box.
Yeah, you just pop it right in your Pi and away it goes.
Yeah.
Well, I know you are, John, but I don't generally tend to pop in there because that room is entirely too active, and then it sucks up all my time. That's why I didn't know about the 1440 stream. That's why I didn't get invited.
Hey, Gulf Coast Robotics, what are you looking for, Paul Cumber? Oh, I don't know if Gulf Coast Robotics does that anymore. They were actually going to get out of the 3D printing parts business. Last time I talked to those guys, they're actually only about 45 minutes from my house.
Well, I mean, you could definitely reach out to Monoprice. They might know where to get one from too.
Yeah.
But I would think a search on Amazon will find you something that'll work. What is wrong with the bed, Paul?
Oh, it won't heat up.
Yeah, that could actually be a couple of things, though. Are you sure that it's the bed? Do you have an ohm meter by chance?
Ohm range.
Ohm.
I actually had that happen last week with the printer that's running right now, and I guess at some point the bed had slid back and pinned the wires against the wall, and it put a little fold in them. And then over time, it broke a couple of strands, but increased the resistance there. And eventually the heat actually caused the wires to melt through and break. So I had to desolder. That's when I stuck my soldering iron to the bed and removed about 20% of the copper pad when I got it off. But I had to go through that.
It takes a lot of heat to unsolder those.
Yeah. I ended up, so if you're ever desoldering one, and like this is soldering 101, but apparently I didn't think of it until after the fact. I use one of these cheap solder suckers. And rather than trying to like heat it up enough to pull the wire off, I would heat up the top layer, then suck the solder off of it in 2 or 3 passes with this, and the wire was loose versus trying to like heat up the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Well, you can also if you can, use a couple of jumpers and heat the bed. Otherwise, a heat gun. And use a heat gun to heat the bed up so that it doesn't suck the heat out of the iron so much. Or you just use a 1,000-watt soldering iron and be done with it.
Okay, I have to switch colors now. I'm going to swing my camera around.
Yeah, we're color changing. What's funny is it was like 40 minutes ago when you said, "Oh, one layer left," and then I got to do a color change.
Yep. I mean, it's a pretty long print, so we got to get the red in there now.
Oh, that looks cool. Is that for the back of the screen?
That's the back of the machine, yeah.
Cool.
I was worried about the holes with it for the ventilation, and after running the other one, it's not really putting off enough heat that I don't think the hole in the top will, I think it'll be enough to vent it. So I can't sell these ones like this version of it anyways, because Disney will make me their puppet. Let's say puppet.
Yeah, puppet's a good word.
So the only problem I've been having is my CR10. It's got the feature where when you pause it, it moves the hot end back to home. But it's got this thing it does where I hit pause and it pauses for like a half a second. And then it seems to lose track of where it is. And it starts moving again and puts down a little bit more plastic and then finally actually permanently pauses and moves back to home. But it ends up putting a smear of whatever color filament I was running at that time in the incorrect place.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so I try to make sure I only pause during infill now so that whatever mistake it makes isn't going to be terrible.
My distant cousin from another mother is here, Glenn Hogue. It's distant because he only puts one N in Glenn like a serial killer.
Oh, we're laying down red now.
Laying down the red. Yeah, are you bringing... Oh, well, Zach won't be there. I was going to say, are you bringing that to Murph? Because Zach may steal it, but he won't be there. He's got stupid testing at school, so...
I know a guy in Florida that's got 3D printers. I could probably get him to print him one.
Yeah? I doubt it. Can't get him to print anything else.
I think I'm just going to leave that stuck at the point at the print for a bit. Once the red starts going down, it'll really start to show off the design. Plus, it gives everybody a break from my stupid face.
Well, like we want to see 3D printing stuff.
Who does 3D printing stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know anybody that does that. Let me tell you, we talk about us being nerds and geeks and all that stuff. Let me tell you, I saw one the other day, and this is how you know you're a nerd. I got behind the car, and there was an old faded sticker right in the middle of the window, right? And I recognized it immediately as the starship from... Now I can't even remember the damn name of the movie. And I remembered it the other day so quickly. Oh, what's the name of the damn movie, Glenn? From the 80s.
I don't know. We weren't there, man.
Yeah, you do. You know what movie I'm talking about.
Was it the Space Armada or the...
Yeah, yes.
Star Commander?
Yeah, no.
No, not Star Commander.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
I know which one you're talking about. Like I know the kid's main character's name is Alex, and you've been recruited by the Star Command.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, it sounds like James is typing.
The Last Starfighter.
Starfighter. But the thing about it is, I recognized it immediately, and it was faded and like cracked and rolled up, And it was so hilarious
or something.
Yeah, I was like, you're an old guard geek whenever you just automatically recognize that starship.
Yeah, but keep in mind now, Zach's not a nerd because he doesn't have glasses.
Oh,
that's what he said in the video, the robot video.
Right.
Because he called the arc reactor an arc detector. I'm like, he's like, arc detector? I'm like, the arc reactor? And he's like, I'm not a nerd. I don't have glasses.
Yeah, right.
But he is a nerd. He's the nerdiest nerd that ever nerded.
He is very nerdy. You know, you're old when the memory goes. I'll tell you what. Again, full disclosure, full transparency. I've been having issues lately with memory. Like, I'm bad with names, but people that I've known for a while, like I'll be in the middle of a conversation and I'll forget their name, and it really bothered me. Well, come to find out, it's a side effect of one of the blood pressure medications that I'm on. So now I got to talk to the doctor about getting me off that because I'm already foggy enough. I don't need something that makes me more foggy.
I'm going to print that. They actually have one on Thingiverse. I'm going to print it. Sweet.
Glenn, do you still have the computer scrap boards? I don't think I ever had any computer scrap boards. Not since I knew you wanted any. But I do still have all of those boards from the hard drives.
I love that I can position my camera back far enough that the coloring of the infill is enough to make it look like it's actually doing like the top layer. Gives you the idea. You can see the red, the white, and the blue.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, Canada +1.
Canada +1.
Yeah, Dan, definitely check into that because I take one for blood pressure and I take one for cholesterol, and I can never remember which one was which. So I had actually I had looked it up to see because I take one in the morning, one at night. So I'd looked up to see which one was which, and that was one of the side effects. Was I don't think it said that it was memory loss. I forget the way it worded it, but. And of course, I can't even tell you what the drug is.
Old curmudgeon is just.
Into it.
Oh, old curmudgeon is just a regular Gunstar, not the Death Blossom version.
Death Blossom mode? I love Death
Not
Blossom mode.
Death Blossom mode. No.
Yeah, Tristan, I agree with that.
Hey, R2's talking back to your printer, man.
Well, that's nice of him. My printer's been lonely.
Hey, can I just say that this 3D fuel filament lays down like butter?
You can say that.
I'm going to say it. It lays down like butter.
Shameless plugs, man.
I mean, that's not even that's just the truth, man. I don't know if I can stretch my camera back there.
I'm trying to remember which brand of filament I'm running right now. I bought a bunch of it. Each pad of it was cheap. Oh, it's Overture. It's like cheaper than regular filament. Each one comes with a 200 by 200 build sheet, and I've had no jams or anything with it. So the base of that shield's printed in PLA blue from IC3D, and then the white and the red are both the Overture stuff.
Well, I mean, what's crazy is I haven't dialed in for this filament. I just printed it, and it's amazing. I'm probably going to run into tangles on this spool the way I did it.
I really like the way this design came out, but I figured that if I included it in the for sales parts of my my website, I'd probably get sued.
Oh yeah. Well, being that the Big D owns it.
Yep.
Yeah, they're quite crazy about stuff. There's a couple people in the community, and I'm not going to call them out because I don't want to draw attention to them, but she makes really cool D-related things.
Yep.
And I'm really surprised they haven't got her.
So the thing is, too, if you look at Etsy and stuff like that, there's so many stores selling stuff and they've been selling it for years and they've done nothing about it. So I don't know if it's just such small fry that they don't care, or they're waiting to do like a giant like crackdown on everybody that's participating.
Yeah, well, like there was where I grew up in Orlando. There was a daycare center, and they had a local artist come in and paint Disney characters on the building and part of the fence.
Oh no!
And Disney got them.
Of course they did.
You know, because like they didn't want people to think that it was a Disney associated daycare.
Yep. We don't care if children or people get better. Take that down.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to be associated with healing.
Yeah, they came in and said, "Look, you don't beat the kids. This is not a Disney." No. Just kidding, Disney. It's all cool, man.
That was called satire.
God, I remember because you know, I mean, I grew up right in that area, and we used to go out onto their property because they didn't let cops onto their property, so you could just go out there and drive as fast as you wanted, and because there was no cops. Like if the security came, what were they going to do? You just drive away. But yeah, not anymore.
Sorry, go ahead, because I'm going off on a tangent after this.
No, good, go. I like tangent.
So shortly after Kay and I moved down, we were living in Ottawa, and there's this old abandoned military base near the apartment that we lived in. And the roads and everything were open. It was full of all these houses that were falling apart. They hadn't been maintained in probably 20 or 30 years. So you go through there during the daytime, you can see like the eaves troughs are falling off of them. Some of them, like you can see the roofs actually like bowed and stuff like that. So we used to go for like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock slow drives through there. Just, you know, spend some time chatting, go for a little drive and stuff like that. We didn't realize there was a sign that said that you weren't allowed back there. They didn't gate anything. There was just a sign on the way in that said that trespassing below. So the one day we're driving down, and for the first time in, I don't know, this is probably the 6th or 7th drive we've taken through here, we had come across another vehicle. And the roads are like overgrown and stuff. They don't get any driving. So I pull over to the right as far as I can so that the person can go by. And I just drive past the guy. And as we're driving by, all I hear is, "Hey, stop your car." So I hit the brakes. He's like, "Did he just tell us to stop?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I, like, as we went by, I saw there was some sort of logo on the side. So he throws it in reverse. And, "What are you doing back here?" And he may or may not have been cursing a little bit. But I said, "We're just going
like
for
regular cursing or Canadian cursing."
No, like American cursing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no please, thank yous, or apologies in there whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
He's like, "What are you guys doing back here?" I said, "We're just out for a drive. You want to explain to me why you're out for a drive back here?" That, you know, empty roads. He's like, "Do you not see all the signs on the way in?" Like, I don't remember seeing anything. And so I go back, and the next day I go during the day, like just to the edge of it, and there's a sign on the far right that's written in like small, like legalese text, right? It says you're not allowed to go back there. I'm like, if you're not allowed to be back there, why isn't there a gate blocking access? Because like the road that you turn down to get to our apartment, if you just keep going straight, you end up driving into this place. Yeah, like you know, it's just a continuation of the road. But anyways, neither here nor there.
Yeah, dude, I'd totally go in there. Stuff like that. I love stuff like that.
Yep.
Any type of urban exploration.
Anyways, Kane and I got yelled at. Not allowed back there, but we weren't allowed back there in the first place. I guess it doesn't matter.
Tristan said, "Glenn is printing." Yes, it does happen once in a while.
Yeah.
I felt I should leave this up on the screen so that people know that this is a 3D printing live stream.
Well, I got 3D printers behind me.
Well, I guess one of them is doing something.
Glenn Hug said 3D Fuel had a sale the other day of transitional and otherwise out of spec PLA filament. That is true, they did. So I bought 8 spools to get free shipping and use a $5 coupon. I think I have a problem. No, what you have is a lot of really good filament.
I need to start using filament because this isn't even all of it.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I'd show you mine, but it's not that organized.
That's the Joel Telling bracket in action.
Yeah.
I probably didn't put enough up, but it's been up for like 6 months at this point and hasn't collapsed, so I'm going to call it good.
Right.
I've got them every 2 feet with anchors that are rated to hold 70 pounds, and there's 2 anchors per one. I don't know. I think it'll probably be fine until it falls.
Old curmudgeon asked to find out of spec. What did they say? If it was more than, or if it was 0.02 out of spec, they wouldn't use it. I think is what they said.
I've got a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I can pull the email. I can. That way, I'm not paraphrasing.
I've got a roll of gray filament. I won't mention the brand or whatever. But every time I run it through a printer, it jams my printer.
Maker Geeks?
What?
To Maker Geeks?
No, they're not even a thing anymore, are they?
No, they're gone. Unless they opened up under a different name, but
they're now Faker Geeks.
Yeah. Yeah, 0.02. If the spec is worse than plus or minus 0.02, their line actually sets off alarms and they pull the roll. So that's what they consider out of spec.
That's like the mobile filament run that they had running at IRF. I was doing a little interview with the guy we were talking about, and he's saying, you know, how compared to your actual run, how is it? He's like, it runs just as well. He goes, it's slower, but it runs just as well. We're selling the filament that's coming off it. It gives us no problems. And literally sooner if the words left his mouth, then it starts beeping because something's gone out of spec. So they had to, he's like, oh yeah, now that I said it, it's fine. So you got to go cut the line, take the half spool off. But yeah, that's the thing. Filament production isn't perfect. There's no company in the world that's got like 100% uptime on their filament run.
No. Well, no, and nobody should ever expect that. What you should expect, though, is that they are monitoring it and, you know.
I can also say without a doubt that I have never had a run of my filament go out of spec.
Neither have I. My every roll that I have ever produced has been dead on perfect.
And every roll you and I have produced together has been perfect.
That is true. Our collaboration, yeah.
Yep. What about you, Walter?
Yeah, no, mine are all perfect. Mine, everything I extrude is fantastic.
Now, Walter, now that you're hanging out in Chris's basement, why don't you go dig around and see what kind of quality filament he's dealing with there?
Yeah. Can you give me one of those rolls over there?
Oh, hold on. Found some clear PLA over here.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah.
Chris won't miss that because he couldn't see it in the first place.
This has a humidity indicator on it, and
that must be IC3D.
Yeah, and it's past 60%.
Yeah, my PTG it doesn't do so good in the basement.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've had a food dehydrator in my cart on Amazon for like a year and a half now. I think I might finally have to pull the trigger on it and get set up to dry some filament, because I'll be honest, usually when the roll starts to act up, I just stick it back in the bag and put it over there and open a new roll.
Right.
You got a bunch of half rolls of ruined filament just sitting there waiting to be not used?
Yeah, probably 6 rolls of partial on PETG. Well, the humidity is so bad. I mean, my air conditioner in my house has a dehumidifier, and it's all like it keeps, but still, I mean, the filament still sucks up the humidity.
Yep. Look at how pretty that looks. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's fun watching it come to life.
Yep. This was like the perfect time. It's going to maybe finish the first layer of the red by the time we wrap up. And from this distance, you can't tell that it's the first layer on top of the infill, and it's all full of holes and stuff.
Why Amazon? I bought mine local at Xander Outdoors, because I buy everything from Amazon because I don't like to go outside because it's very people-y out there.
Oh man, you got to go to Gander Mountain. Come on.
Okay.
Gander Mountain from here is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we don't have one within 2-3 hours of here.
Yeah.
Can we get
one to you? Is the closest one to me.
But gandermountain.com is closer. But
right.
I just buy everything through Amazon. They bring it right to the house 3 times a day.
Can we get everybody in chat to drop enough to pay respects to Greg's Maker Coiner, who bought a Philodry at Murph last year?
Hey, I bought one of those. I took it apart.
I know. I watched
my Philodry from Murph last year. If anyone wants to buy it, you'd have to pay me to take it, man. I'm sorry.
Watching Walter pull that thing apart was like when they find the Wizard of Oz behind the blanket or behind the curtain at the end of Wizard of Oz, and it turns out just smoke and mirrors.
I was thinking more like when Geraldo opened Al Capone's vault.
Hey, Greg, I will tell you, I have spare parts though. Like, here's a fan. You know,
don't use that
over there if you need any.
Don't use that fan; it blows.
Well, it doesn't. That's part of the problem.
It sucks.
Well, the cool thing about it is that it fits perfectly onto the mosquito hot end, so I can use it as a fan for the mosquito.
I actually have one of those mosquito hot ends that I'd been designing a printer around it, and as usual, I didn't finish it.
Yeah,
that was the FK 0.1.
That's one of the things that I actually want to see about.
I designed a 3D printer that was meant to be. It looked like a miniaturized version of Glenn's, but doesn't have the same specs, obviously. And I was calling it the FK 0.1 because it was going to be 1/10 the size of his. Yeah, and I bought yellow filament to like the as close to Fun King yellow as I could find.
I have this mosquito hot end so that I can make the mounts and stuff for the FK1 to house it, to give people options. And that was actually courtesy of Slice.
Hey, has anybody else built an FK1 yet? Did you release the files? I don't even remember.
Release the files. No, not until I get the 4 lead screws put on it and know that it's working well enough that it can. I don't want to release a half project.
I mean, I do that all the time. In fact, now I'm charging for it. I'm just kidding. It's complete. I've printed like 4 of them now. So, and here's the thing. There are 2 other YouTubers that are 3D printing this cabinet. I won't say their names just in case they don't actually do it. I gave them early access to the files, so that's probably going to happen. But other than that, I had to print these and test them all myself to make sure that it was repeatable and all that. I was so thankful when Mad Mike actually printed one and it worked, because that was nerve-wracking.
I didn't get any early access to anything.
You can have early access to all my stuff. You know that. Excellent. All you have to do is ask. You too, Walter.
All right.
Then I'd have to start printing stuff.
I went a step further. I offered to make Walter a custom version of the cabinet tonight.
That is true. I did hear that.
Later, old curmudgeon. What'd you say, James? I missed that.
I said I went a step further than that. I offered to make you a custom Gator version of the cabinet tonight.
I know you did.
But for copyright reasons, it's gonna have a croc on it.
It's gonna have a croc.
That is a croc.
As long as it's not the shoe.
It's gonna be inspired by the Gators.
Do not put a picture of a croc on it.
That'd still be a copyright problem.
Right, I know, right?
Did you guys ever see, a friend of mine showed this to me, there's a guy that does like he does artwork and stuff like that, and he gets contacted by people asking him to do free stuff all the time. So a lot of times he trolls them. So one of his coworkers messaged him and
James.
Yeah, me. Yeah, it was me. I troll everybody.
No, the other James.
Yeah, the other James. One of his coworkers said that her cat was missing. So she asked him to make a poster that she could put up around. And she's like, okay, I need a picture of the cat. So he sends it back, and it looks like a movie poster, and the cat's like 3 inches tall they're 2 inches tall on the poster, and the rest of it's empty space. And she's like, that's great, but why is the cat so small? He's like, sorry. So then he sends another one, and the cat's blown up, but it's a different cat now. It goes back and forth, and at one point she's like, you have no idea how important this is. So he sends a poster. It looks perfect, except for it says $10,000 reward. Then she's okay, just take out the part about the reward. So he sends it back and says he's changed $10,000 reward to no reward offer. It was fantastic.
You're not talking about the Photoshop guy, are you?
He might be the same guy, because I've seen his stuff too, but it's in the same vein anyways.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious, some of the pictures he does.
Yeah.
There's also a website he hasn't updated in like 4 years. It's called don'tevenreply.com.
Yeah.
And it's this guy that just trolls people by responding to like Kijiji ads and stuff like that. I can't even describe his stuff, but he tries to see how much he can get away with before the person stops corresponding with him.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was selling like a hedge trimmer, and he messages like, hey, I noticed you have a shovel in the background. How much do you want for the shovel? And he goes, the shovel's not for sale. He's like, I don't know. That looks like a pretty good shovel. I'd be willing to pay you $20. And it's like back and forth. And the shovel's not for sale.
Tristan said I should just release the files and let the community fix it for you. That's what all the best companies do. Yeah, that's what Microsoft does. Here's an operating system. Can you test it for us after you pay us for it?
All right, Glenn, I'm going to have to say my outro, buddy. I got to get out of here.
Oh, yeah, it's 6:01. Go for it.
I'm Walter at Country 3D. You can find me everywhere at Country 3D. Hopefully this coming week, I will start streaming again. It's going to be a sad day when I do because we're going to start taking apart, and you can't see it right now, but the Hypercube Evo printed Hypercube Evo is going to be coming apart. It's already coming apart at the seams, so we'll just do what we got to do. But anyway, that's it. I'm done.
All right, James, that's you, man.
My name's James. I run Print and Play. You can find me on YouTube under Print and Play. Printandplay.ca is the website, and then I'm terrible at keeping consistent names everywhere else, so look for links in my YouTube thing. And I'll be hopefully at Murph 95%. Probably going to be there anyways. All sorts of new projects on the way, and I stream pretty much every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to jump in, ask questions, that type of stuff.
And that brings it to me. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say to you the same thing this week that I say to you every week, and that is thank you for being here, because without you, these streams would be absolutely senseless and probably would not move in the direction that they do. In fact, they absolutely would not move in the direction that they do. So we do thank you guys, each and every one of you guys, for showing up. If you have not yet subscribed to us, and I will put a link to James's channel down in the description. I should have done that while we were streaming, but I will put a link down there to his channel. But otherwise, if you go to funcountryBasement.com or funinthecountry.basement.com, there are 3 big red subscribe buttons on there, and that will allow you to subscribe to Walter, Chris, and myself. I don't know. Like this video, give it a thumbs up. All that normal YouTube jazz. Huge thanks to James for joining us and being our basement today.
I'm glad to got you some subscribers.
Being that our friend Chris Riley couldn't be here with us today. So I think that's all for us. You can find me everywhere at Fun King 3D. And I mean everywhere. I got to click. And then we'll catch you all in the next time. And as always, right on.